What's going on, family? Look, God wants to bless you. I'm going to say that again. God wants to bless you. But some of the blessings that God has given us requires patience. If not all of the blessings God is trying to give us requires patience. And a lot of time you will put yourself in a position in life where you forfeit the blessing God is trying to give you because you're impatient. You can't wait on his timing to receive what he's trying to give you. So instead, you try to jump in front of the timeline that God has for you to receive what he's trying to give you. So you try to force a blessing that God is saying, hey, I need you to be patient right now. Because what you don't realize is you may not be properly prepared to receive the blessing that God is trying to give you right then and there. Because a lot of us want things in life that we don't have, that our level of stewardship don't match. So God could be trying to bless you with $1 million, but he's requiring you to be patient because he's trying to put you through a process of gaining more stewardship within your life. So when you get that $1 million, you can properly steward over it. You know how to maintain it. But if he gives it to you right then and there, the only thing that you're going to do is waste it. You're going to blow it on all of these frivolous things that you think is important that's really not. Because when you look at the prodigal son, he wanted his inheritance up front. And what happened? He went out there into the world and he blew it. He squandered all of the money, all of the inheritance that was given to him by his father just to come back. And a lot of times that's a situation that we put ourselves in, wanting God to give us things that we're not properly prepared to receive in this season of our lives because we don't know how to properly steward over the blessing God wants to give us because we're too impatient. That's why I said a lot of the blessings that God gives us requires us to be patient first because there's things inside of that level of patience that we need to learn. We need to learn how to steward over the things that God wants to give us. And a lot of times we forfeit the blessing God is trying to give us because we're too impatient. Yes, you want that relationship right now. But do you think you can actually handle the relationship that God wants to give you right now in this season of your life? You have certain addictions to, say, pornography. You have a certain addiction to, say, masturbation. All of these things, do you think you can properly maintain a relationship right now when you have certain addictions that God needs you to get over right now before he can give you that relationship that you want? You're facing certain financial hardships and God wants to bless you financially. He does. But right now he sees, you know what? You're having all of these financial hardships because you don't know how to steward over the little bit that you do have right now. So why would I give you all of this extra stuff when you can't properly handle the little that I've given you already? You have to be patient. When it comes to God and it comes to the blessings that he wants to give you, it requires you to be patient. And in the midst of that patience, God is teaching you things that you need to know to be able to properly maintain what he's about to give you. Yes, he wants to give you that promotion at work, but it's other things that you need to know in the position that you're in that's going to better prepare you for that position that he's going to bring you to in the next season of your life. It requires patience. You have to be patient when dealing and following God. Because you don't ever want to put yourself in front of God's timeline. Because everything on this earth has a divine timeline. It does. And you don't ever want to, jumpstart. You don't ever want to jumpstart what God is trying to do. You don't ever want to get ahead of what God is trying to do. You don't. When you look at the ministry of Jesus, he was very patient in everything that he did. He was not in a hurry for anything. Whatever had to happen, happened at the time that God needed it to happen. He was not trying to rush anything. He was not going too slow. He was not going too fast. He was patient during the entire ministry. And that is the same attitude that we have to adopt within our lives. We have to be patient when waiting for the things that we want from God. Yes, God wants to bless you. He wants to give you everything that you ask for in prayer. He tells you, whatever you ask, in Mark chapter 11, verse 24, he says, whatever you ask for in prayer, if you believe that you have it, you shall receive it. He wants to bless you. He does. But in the midst of that, right there, it requires patience. Ask and you shall receive. Knock and the door will be open for you. Seek and you shall find. What you don't understand, when you ask for certain things, it said ask and you shall receive. It did not say when you shall receive it. It said ask and you shall receive. You may ask for something today and you might not get it till next year. You may be trying to find something and you may not find it until a few months later. You may be knocking on this door to get in this meeting, but you don't get into it to a few weeks later. Because everything has a divine timeline attached to it. And God wants to give it to you at the appointed time that it is needed for you to have it. You don't ever want to receive something a minute before or a minute after. You want to receive it at the appointed time that God has for you to receive it. Stop trying to rush the blessing. Stop. Because in the midst of your patience, he is properly preparing you to receive what he's about to give you. And what he's about to give you, you do not want to squander. What he's about to give you, you do not want to lose. What he's about to give you, you do not want to forfeit. You do not want to forfeit that blessing because you are too impatient to wait for it. You don't ever want to put yourself in a position like that. I take myself, for example. It's certain things that I want in this life. But I understand at this particular point in my life, I'm still in training phase of stewardship. Learning how to steward over the things that I know God wants to give me. I know he wants to give it to me, and I know he's going to bless. He already showed me that he's going to bless me with these things, but I know that it's coming at an appointed time. But right now, I need to gain more stewardship to be able to steward over these things that he wants to give me properly. Yes, it's frustrating. Yes, it's hard because it's like, God, I want it right now. I'm not trying to wait till whatever happened. No, I want these things right now. But you know what? I have to put my trust into you because I know that what you're doing right now in this season of my life is going to properly prepare me to receive what you have for me in the next season of my life. So I'm going to be a good steward and I'm going to be patient because I don't ever want to lose out on what you're trying to give me. And that is the mentality that you have to have. You have the mentality. It's inside of you, but you have to believe in it. You have to trust God in it. You have to trust what he's doing in this season of your life. He wants to bless you. He wants to bless you. He does. He wants to give you all of these blessings. He does. But you have to learn how to steward over these things. You have to learn to be patient when waiting for these things. There is so much that you can be doing in between time, sitting in prayer with him, worshiping, reading his word, educating yourself in other endeavors in life. There's so much that you could be doing, working out, studying something, learning a new trade. It's so many things that you can be doing in the meantime that is going to properly prepare you to receive the blessing that God is trying to give you. I'm telling you, you have to be patient. Please don't forfeit your blessing through impatience. Please do not forfeit your blessing through impatience. I've seen it happen so many times in people that I know. I've seen it happen so many times in my own personal life. I've seen it. It's just like dealing with a little kid. They have that instant gratification mindset. They want what they want when they want it. They don't care what they have to do to get it. They don't care what struggles they're going to have while having it. They just want it. We have to get outside of that instant gratification state of mind. When it comes to God, we can't think like that. Because everything is not going to come when we want it. It's going to come when he needs it. Remember that. I'm going to say that again. Everything is not going to come when we want it. It's going to come when he needs it. God is going to bless us with it when he needs us to have it. All right? So I want everybody to get in position to receive the blessing that God has for them, but be prepared to receive that blessing through patience. All right? I love y'all, Safe House family. Till next time.